Pricing your product is hard, but waiting for the perfect number is worse. In this episode of Capital Compass, we walk you through how to set an initial price, what to avoid, and how to set expectations with customers while giving yourself room to grow. Pricing your product. How much should you charge? Pricing can make or break your startup, especially early on. In this episode of Capital Compass, we're tackling one of the most common founder questions: how much should I charge? The first thing that you want to understand with respect to pricing your product is that don't chase the perfect price. Just start charging. Too many founders wait too long to set a price, but the truth is that any price is better than none. The most important tips with respect to this is don't optimize, just cover your costs. Even $10 is better than free, and it gets you the real buying behavior. And paid pilots beat free pilots because customers have skin in the game. This brings us to how to frame the early pricing. Now, frame your early pricing as temporary. This is our early adopter price. This is a limited time pilot rate. We'll grandfather you if we raise the prices later. You need to understand as to why this works, because it sets clear expectation, it builds urgency without any pressure, and it gives you the flexibility to raise prices later on. This brings us to the monthly pricing versus annual pricing versus post-paid. Let's talk about the payment structure and not just the price. Now, annual upfront is best for cash flow. The monthly is more common and still decent. And invoice after work is the worst kind of pricing that you can go after because it delays cash and it adds risk. The pro tip out here is that frame annual payment as a part of the membership, especially if there's a community element to your product or your service. This brings us to iterate later, but start now. You can always optimize pricing later, but don't wait for perfection. Just start charging, gather feedback, and build from there. In closing, we'd like to wrap up this video by saying that start with pricing that conveys your time and cost. Use pricing to test the real demand, not just interest. Set expectations for future price increases and optimize later, but do start charging now. This wraps up this episode of Capital Compass. Hope you've enjoyed this episode. Do share your pitch deck at pallavisehgal.com/submit pitch deck if you want a feedback or review of your pitch deck. New episodes drop in every few days, so do stay tuned for more. Thank you.